Did you know that before becoming famous in the WWE ring, many superstars were actually real boxers? From legends known for their knockout punches to promising amateur fighters, these athletes brought the technique, power, and fighting spirit of boxing into professional wrestling. Some even took down their opponents in WWE using pure boxing strikes, creating unforgettable moments in the process. In this video, we'll look at 15 wrestlers who were real-life boxers, and explore their journey from the ring to the squared circle. Let's get started. Wrestling Sphere, go! Primo Carnera, from world boxing champion to a pioneer of boxing in pro wrestling. Long before WWE or WCW existed, even before the line between competitive fighting and sports entertainment began to blur, Primo Carnera was already paving the way. Born in Italy in the early 20th century, Carnera represented raw power, determination, and the resilience of a true warrior. He entered professional boxing in the late 1920s, during a difficult time in Europe, and within just a few years, he became a worldwide sensation. Standing at around 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighing over 265 pounds, Carnera was a true giant for his era. He quickly made a name for himself with unbelievable strength and punches powerful enough to end fights within just a few rounds. In 1933, Primo Carnera defeated Jack Sharkey to become the world heavyweight champion, securing his place in boxing history as one of the first major European fighters to conquer the global stage. However, his time at the top didn't last forever. After losing the title, Carnera faced serious health issues and eventually retired from professional boxing. But for someone born to fight, leaving the ring completely was never an option. In the 1940s, Primo Carnera began the second chapter of his career, stepping into professional wrestling. And once again, he commanded attention. Inside the wrestling ring, Carnera brought the presence and striking ability of a true boxer. Every punch looked heavy, sharp, and real. Opponents didn't just perform against him, they respected him, because they knew he had actually gone to war in a real ring. With his massive size and natural aura, he became a monster attraction, drawing crowds across the United States. Primo Carnera was one of the earliest boxers to transition into pro wrestling, opening the door for future crossover stars such as Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, and Tyson Fury to appear in WWE. He stands as a symbol of the connection between boxing and wrestling, proof that the spirit of a warrior can cross any boundary. Even decades later, the name Primo Carnera remains legendary, a man who turned the ring into a stage of strength, pride, and unbreakable ambition. Marc Mero, from amateur boxer to WWE's marvelous superstar. Before stepping into the bright spotlight of WWE, Marc Mero was a promising amateur boxer with real potential. Born in Buffalo, New York in 1960, Mero developed a passion for sports early on, especially for the precision and power of boxing. He went on to win the New York Golden Gloves Championship, one of the most prestigious amateur boxing tournaments in the United States. This achievement not only showcased his skills, but also paved the way for what could have been a successful professional boxing career. However, instead of continuing in boxing, Marc Mero made a bold move into professional wrestling. In 1991, he debuted in WCW under the name Johnny B. Bad, a character inspired by singer Little Richard, flashy, rebellious, and full of charisma. But beneath the colorful appearance was a real fighter who brought high-level boxing techniques into the ring, combined with an impressive agility that stood out for someone with his muscular build. In 1996, Marc Mero joined the WWF, later WWE, with a new persona, Wildman Marc Mero, and shortly after, Marvelous Marc Mero, a name inspired by legendary boxer Marvelous Marvin Hagler. This character helped him stand out among WWE's stacked roster at the time. That same year, Mero captured the Intercontinental Championship, marking the peak of his wrestling career. He was also the person who introduced Sable, his former wife, to WWE, and she would go on to become a global superstar in her own right. What made Marc Mero unique was his ability to blend boxing strikes with high-flying wrestling moves. He often mixed jabs, crosses, and hooks with aerial attacks like the shooting star press, turning his matches into fast-paced, emotional performances. After retiring in 2006, Marc Mero began a new chapter as a motivational speaker. He founded the organization Champion of Choices, traveling across the United States to speak with students about anti-bullying, substance abuse prevention, and overcoming adversity. From fighter, to wrestler, to inspirational speaker, Marc Mero is proof that true strength isn't just physical. It's the ability to change lives by sharing your story. Leon Spinks, the champion who defeated Muhammad Ali, and his unexpected journey into pro wrestling. When talking about boxers who later stepped into the world of professional wrestling, the name Leon Spinks always stands out as a symbol of determination and fearless ambition. Born in 1953 in St. Louis, Missouri, Leon wasn't just a talented fighter. He was living proof of the belief that nothing is impossible. Before ever setting foot in a wrestling ring, Spinks achieved something few could even dream of. He defeated Muhammad Ali to win the heavyweight world championship in 1978, and he did it after only 8 professional fights. The world was stunned. Leon had entered the boxing world at a young age and quickly showed the heart of a fearless warrior. He won a gold medal for the United States at the 1976 Olympics, displaying a fast, aggressive style and a willingness to take and return hits. His punches carried not only power, but also a fiery fighting spirit that made him a rising name in professional boxing. And when he beat Ali, a man considered nearly unbeatable, Leon Spinks wrote his name into sports history with one of the biggest upsets of all time. As the spotlight of his boxing career slowly faded, Spinks sought a new challenge: professional wrestling. In the 1980s, he appeared in All Japan Pro Wrestling, AJPW, and in promotions affiliated with the WWF at the time. With his solid build, intense expression, and real combat background, Leon instantly came across as a legitimate fighter in a world of performance-based competition. Every time he stepped into the ring, he fought with the same intensity, sharp punches, quick footwork, and the focused stare of a man who had faced real battles. While Leon Spinks did not achieve major championships in wrestling, he is still remembered as one of the few true heavyweight boxing champions to cross into the sport. He brought Olympic spirit and world champion toughness into sports entertainment, creating a unique legacy that bridged 2 very different arenas. Leon Spinks' career is a testament to relentless forward momentum. From the blazing heat of the boxing ring to the dramatic energy of professional wrestling, he always fought like a man who refused to be afraid of anything. Joe Louis, the boxing legend who brought his unshakable presence to pro wrestling. When discussing the greatest boxers of all time, Joe Louis is a name spoken with absolute respect. He wasn't just a world heavyweight champion from 1937 to 1949, a reign that lasted more than a decade. He was a symbol of power, courage, and endurance in American sports history. Joe Louis didn't just fight in the ring. He represented an entire generation overcoming prejudice and hardship during a turbulent era. After retiring from boxing, Joe Louis remained an influential figure in the world of sports. In a surprising shift, he began making appearances in professional wrestling events, not as a wrestler, but as a special guest and special referee. Every time he walked into an arena, the crowd erupted in applause, because no matter the stage, Joe Louis carried himself like a true champion. His calm expression, confident posture, and unmistakable presence made it feel like one punch from him could shake the entire building. What made Joe Louis's involvement in wrestling meaningful was how he bridged 2 seemingly separate worlds: boxing and sports entertainment. He stood as a living connection between genuine combat and performance-based storytelling, proving that the core values of competition, heart, discipline, respect, can transcend any sport. Though his appearances in wrestling were limited, Joe Louis's presence in WWE remains remembered as a historic moment, a time when one of boxing's greatest legends stood in the middle of the wrestling ring, carrying with him the unbreakable spirit of the Brown Bomber. Roddy Piper, the Madman, who brought a boxer's spirit to WWE. When talking about legends with a truly real fighting style, Roddy Piper is a name you can't leave out. Known for his fiery attitude, rebellious personality, and ability to whip the crowd into chaos, few people realize that Piper actually had a real boxing background before stepping into WWE. He once revealed that he won a Golden Gloves Championship, one of the most prestigious amateur boxing tournaments in the United States. That experience shaped his powerful striking, quick reactions, and incredible toughness, making him one of the grittiest competitors the wrestling world has ever seen. One of Piper's most memorable moments came at WrestleMania 2 in 1986, when he faced Mr. T in an actual boxing match. Even though the final result didn't go in Piper's favor, his fighting spirit electrified the audience. He went into the match with zero hesitation, throwing sharp jabs and clean hooks, proving that he wasn't just a loudmouth on the microphone. He could really hit, and hit hard. His blend of real combat intensity and showmanship helped make WrestleMania 2 one of the standout events of WWE's early era. What made Roddy Piper truly special was the mix of real striking ability and pure entertainment. He could make the crowd absolutely despise him, yet they couldn't take their eyes off him. Whether he played a villain or a hero, Piper always carried the raw energy and mindset of a real boxer. He could take punishment, hit fast, and he never backed down, inside or outside the ring. More than just a wrestler, Roddy Piper was a symbol of rebellion, grit, and relentless passion. Boxing forged his fighting spirit, and WWE turned him into a legend. When people talk about stars who brought the heart of boxing into pro wrestling, Hot Rod Roddy Piper will always be one of the first names mentioned, an irreplaceable icon in both worlds. Floyd Mayweather Jr., the undefeated boxing icon who made Big Show kneel at WrestleMania. When people mention Floyd Mayweather Jr., they immediately think of the perfect symbol of modern boxing, a fighter with an undefeated record of 50 wins and 0 losses. Over more than 2 decades in the ring, Money Mayweather dominated 5 different weight divisions, won 15 world championships, and became the face of multi-million-dollar fight promotions. His style wasn't about wild offense, it was the mastery of speed, timing, and elite defense that made opponents punch nothing but air. However, what WWE fans remember most is the night Mayweather stepped into a wrestling ring and faced the giant Big Show at WrestleMania 24 in 2008. This wasn't just a stunt, it was a clash between 2 worlds, real boxing and top-tier sports entertainment. The confrontation began when Big Show, standing at about 7 feet tall and weighing over 440 pounds, challenged Mayweather right in the middle of a WWE arena. Many expected Floyd to walk away. Instead, he accepted without hesitation, bringing the mindset of a true fighter into WWE. In that match, fans witnessed something wild. A fighter weighing around 147 pounds going up against a man nearly 3 times his size. Mayweather relied on speed, footwork, and strategy, dodging, countering, and ultimately finishing the bout with a loaded punch using brass knuckles, dropping Big Show to the mat. The victory earned him an estimated $20 million, and cemented his place in WWE history as one of the most successful real-life boxers ever to enter a wrestling ring. Mayweather may not be a professional wrestler, but with only 1 match, he proved that courage, confidence, and ring intelligence can make even a giant fall. He walked in as a boxing legend, and walked out as an unforgettable part of WrestleMania history. Butterbean, the king of 4-rounders, who shocked WWE at WrestleMania 15. Before his WWE appearance, Eric Esch, better known as Butterbean, was already a heavyweight boxing legend. With his massive frame, unassuming look, and devastating punching power, Butterbean earned the nickname King of the 4-rounders, dominating short-distance fights with knockout force. His professional record speaks for itself: 77 wins, 58 by knockout, with only 10 losses and 4 draws. His style was simple but brutally effective, raw knockout strength backed by street fighting grit. The moment WWE fans will never forget came at WrestleMania 15 in 1999, when Butterbean stepped into a real boxing match against Bart Gunn, the winner of WWE's Brawl for All tournament. This wasn't scripted, no choreography, no staged outcome. Everybody in the building knew that when Butterbean put on the gloves, the danger was real. From the opening bell, the difference between a world-class boxer and a wrestler dabbling in boxing was immediate. Just 35 seconds into the fight, Butterbean landed a clean right hook that knocked Bart Gunn out cold, forcing the referee to stop the match instantly. The arena exploded, and the knockout became one of the most shocking real hits in WrestleMania history. Butterbean didn't stay in WWE long, but he didn't need to. That one moment was enough to become legendary. He proved that behind all the spectacle of sports entertainment, there are fighters with real, undeniable power. Even with a single appearance, Butterbean left a permanent mark, a symbol of raw strength and fearless combat spirit. Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, brings championship aura to WWE. Very few fighters can successfully balance 2 worlds, one being the brutal reality of professional boxing, and the other the theatrical intensity of pro wrestling. But Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King from the United Kingdom, did exactly that with his unique personality and presence. As the reigning WBC heavyweight champion, Fury is considered one of the best fighters of his era, bringing new life to modern boxing. Standing nearly 6 feet 9 inches with incredible reach and ring IQ, Fury blends finesse, power, and unpredictability to create a style no one can duplicate. Tyson Fury's arrival in WWE in 2019 was a true media sensation. It all began when he appeared on SmackDown and had a heated face-off with Braun Strowman, sparking worldwide attention. WWE quickly turned this moment into a blockbuster match at Crown Jewel 2019 in Saudi Arabia, where the giants of two worlds collided. Fury stepped into the WWE ring with full confidence, carrying himself exactly like a world champion. Even though it was his first pro wrestling match, he didn't look out of place. He moved well, reacted naturally, and showed impressive stage awareness. With his signature power punch, Fury knocked out Strowman and secured a victory in his WWE debut. After the match, Fury didn't stop there. He continued appearing on SmackDown, shared entertaining backstage segments with Strowman, and proved he had real showmanship outside the boxing ring. WWE saw in him not just a fighter, but a complete entertainer, someone who knows how to command attention. Tyson Fury is proof that a true champion can shine anywhere, whether it's inside a fierce boxing ring or on WWE's grand stage. With charisma, skill, and an unmistakable aura, the Gypsy King stands among the few real fighters who have successfully crossed over and left a mark in both worlds. Baron Corbin, from Golden Gloves champion to cold-blooded WWE villain. Before becoming one of WWE's most hated villains, Baron Corbin, real name Thomas Pestock, was a highly skilled amateur boxer. As a young fighter, Corbin made his mark in the prestigious Golden Gloves tournaments in Kansas City, where he won a championship title. Golden Gloves is one of the most respected amateur boxing competitions in the United States, and only those with high-level skill, endurance, and mental toughness can come out on top. This period shaped Corbin's grit, discipline, and ability to read opponents, traits that later became his key strengths in WWE. But Corbin didn't stop at boxing. He also pursued professional athletics in the NFL, playing for the Indianapolis Colts and the Arizona Cardinals. Although his football career didn't last long, it left him with great size, agility, and explosive strength, an ideal foundation for entering WWE. Once he joined WWE, Baron Corbin quickly stood out. He brought the mentality of a real fighter into the ring, incorporating quick jabs, heavy hooks, and precise distance control. Every strike he throws feels calculated and grounded in real combat experience. Many opponents have commented that facing Corbin is like stepping in against an actual boxer, not just a wrestler. In WWE, Corbin impresses not only with technique but also with his cold, arrogant, and merciless persona. He uses his boxing background to build a style that is technical yet vicious, something that makes audiences hate him but can't look away. From a promising Golden Gloves champion to one of WWE's most notorious stars, Baron Corbin is living proof that discipline and determination can turn an amateur fighter into a true powerhouse in sports entertainment. Bart Gunn, the fearless brawl for all champion who stepped into a real fight. When WWE fans talk about Bart Gunn, they remember one of the boldest and most unusual moments in the company's history, the 1998 Brawl for All tournament. It was the only tournament where wrestlers actually fought for real, no scripts, no choreography. And among a field full of powerhouse names, Bart Gunn, a mid-card wrestler at the time, shocked everyone by stepping in with the mindset of a true fighter. Although he had no professional boxing background, Bart Gunn possessed raw fighting instincts. WWE trained him specifically for the real, unscripted bouts of Brawl for All, where strength, reflexes, and toughness determined everything. Throughout the tournament, Bart Gunn took down tough opponents like Bob Holly, Steve Williams, and Bradshaw, all defeated with thunderous knockout punches. His dramatic victories crowned him the one and only champion of WWE's Brawl for All, a title no one else in history has ever held. But that glory quickly became a challenge when WWE booked him against Butterbean at WrestleMania 15 in 1999. This was a legitimate boxing match, not sports entertainment. Despite Gunn's effort and fighting spirit, the gap between a semi-trained wrestler and a world-class knockout specialist was enormous. In just 35 seconds, Butterbean landed a crushing right-hand punch that knocked Bart Gunn out cold, abruptly ending his venture into real boxing. Even though the outcome wasn't in his favor, Bart Gunn is remembered as one of the few wrestlers who had the courage to step into a real fight without hesitation. He proved that in WWE, bravery and the willingness to face danger can mean more than victory itself. His journey embodies one truth. The one who dares to face a real punch, win or lose, is already strong. Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man, bringing MMA and boxing to WWE. Before stepping into WWE and becoming one of the toughest faces of the Attitude Era, Ken Shamrock was already a feared name in martial arts. He wasn't just an early UFC legend, He was a pioneer who combined multiple fighting styles, including boxing, which played a major role in shaping his aggressive, precise, and explosive techniques. Ken Shamrock was never a professional boxer, but he trained in boxing alongside MMA, mastering technical punches from crisp jabs and straight rights to heavy hooks. During his UFC run, his striking was respected for its accuracy and speed, allowing him to attack from multiple angles and blend boxing strikes seamlessly with MMA grappling and submissions. This hybrid skill set earned him the iconic nickname, the world's most dangerous man. When he arrived in WWE in the late 90s, Shamrock brought a real combat presence, unlike the more performance-driven styles of that era. Every move he made, from stiff right hands to knee strikes to his famous ankle lock, showed the discipline and precision of someone who trained in real fighting environments. Fans could instantly see the boxing influence in how he kept distance, chose his moments, and finished opponents with sudden explosiveness. Inside WWE, Ken Shamrock is remembered not just as a technical wrestler, but as a symbol of the bridge between real combat and entertainment. He proved that boxing fundamentals don't just add realism, they bring real impact. With his intense expression, razor-sharp focus, and warrior presence, Ken Shamrock left a lasting legacy as the man who brought the spirit of UFC and boxing into WWE, making audiences truly believe he was, without exaggeration, the world's most dangerous man. Steve Blackman, the lethal weapon, who brought real combat energy to WWE. In the late 1990s, when WWE was filled with loud, over-the-top characters, Steve Blackman stood out in a completely different way. He didn't need flashy promos or dramatic theatrics. He earned respect through calm precision, discipline, and real combat skill. Before joining WWE, Blackman trained extensively in martial arts, especially boxing and kickboxing, foundations that shaped his realistic in-ring style based on sharp reflexes, clean strikes, and tight defense. Steve Blackman wasn't just a wrestler, he was a fighter. Every time he stepped into the ring, he carried himself like someone who had spent countless hours preparing for real combat. Nothing he did was wasted. Every jab, every hook, every mid or high kick came with exact purpose and control. His reactions were so quick that many opponents would later say, Blackman fought like it was real. In 1998, Blackman entered Brawl for All, WWE's unscripted fighting tournament where punches and takedowns were real. While he didn't win the entire competition, he made a lasting impression with his accuracy, composure, and ability to stay calm under pressure. He proved he had more than showmanship. He had the mindset of a trained martial artist who could control the pace and stay focused when everything turned chaotic. The WWE audience soon nicknamed him the Lethal Weapon, because every strike he delivered looked dangerously authentic. In hardcore matches, he frequently used nunchaku and batons like natural extensions of his body, reinforcing the aura that he was someone you should not mess with. Steve Blackman was never the loudest man in the room, but he proved that real strength, real technique, and real fighting spirit always command respect. With his boxing and kickboxing foundation, he built a style that was unmistakably his own, cold, precise, and genuinely dangerous. Isla Dawn, from the boxing ring to WWE's enigmatic stage. Before stepping into the world of professional wrestling, Isla Dawn was a fierce competitor in Scotland's boxing and kickboxing scene. Her passion for combat sports began at a young age, drawn to the strength, speed, and precision each strike required. Throughout her youth, she trained relentlessly, sharpening her reflexes, building endurance, and developing her own tactical mindset. That foundation gave her the resilience, flexibility, and iron will that later became key weapons when she entered a new arena, professional wrestling. The turning point came when fellow Scotsman and WWE star Killian Dane recognized something special in her. Dane saw not just a talented fighter, but a personality that could truly shine on the WWE stage. He encouraged her to try wrestling, and didn't stop at encouragement. Dane personally trained Isla, teaching her how to adapt boxing strikes into an offensive style that fit WWE's dramatic, story-driven environment. Under his mentorship, Isla learned not just technique, but how to tell a story through movement and impact, something that set her apart from traditional fighters. After joining NXT UK, Isla Dawn quickly drew attention with her haunting, mysterious persona. She wasn't just another wrestler, she became a witch of the ring, blending her real striking ability with a dark, alluring theatrical presence. Every appearance raised questions. Who is she really? And is there something supernatural behind that cold, intense gaze? At 27, Isla Dawn makes no secret of her ambitions. Her immediate goal is to capture the NXT UK Women's Championship, proof that she deserves to be the face of the brand. But her vision goes further. She aims to rise to WWE's main roster, following the path of two other successful Scottish stars, Nikki Cross and Drew McIntyre. From a young boxer to NXT's Dark Sorceress, Isla Dawn's journey is a testament to resilience and reinvention. She brings the spirit of a Scottish warrior to the ring and proves that even if you start in boxing, with passion and determination, you can carve your own place in the WWE universe. Ludvig Borga, the Finnish Iron Fist who stepped into WWE. Before he became one of the more intriguing names in WWE history, Ludvig Borga, real name Tony Hom, was a formidable Finnish heavyweight boxer. He grew up in a harsh environment where toughness was a necessity, and fighting spirit was developed early. With a powerful build, a blunt personality, and natural strength, Hom saw boxing as the perfect way to prove himself. He wasn't the most technical boxer, but every punch he threw carried serious force, the kind that made opponents think twice. Throughout more than 6 years in professional boxing, Tony Hom competed in 19 matches and won 13 of them, many by knockout. His accomplishments earned him the Finnish Heavyweight Boxing Championship, a title that showcased both his power and determination. But despite his potential, Hom struggled to break through on the international stage. So he looked to another world where physical strength and personality were just as valuable: professional wrestling. When Hom entered wrestling, he carried with him the image of a cold, proud, and intense Nordic warrior. Under the ring name Ludvig Borga, he built his reputation in major promotions like New Japan Pro Wrestling and Catch Wrestling Association. At CWA, Borga achieved one of the highlights of his career by winning the World Heavyweight Championship, holding the title for 371 days. Even though he only defended it once, the length of his reign reflected how dominant he was presented to be. In 1993, Ludvig Borga signed with WWE, then WWF. He was introduced as an arrogant Finnish powerhouse who despised America and aimed to destroy its heroes to prove his superiority. Borga had an intimidating presence, tall, heavily muscled, and fierce, like a boxer straight out of a training gym. His strikes, his movement, and his in-ring aggression clearly showed the influence of real-life boxing. However, despite the high expectations, Borga's WWE run was short-lived. Less than 2 years after debuting, he left the company due to injuries and backstage issues. Even so, his character left a mark, remembered as the ice-cold fighter who brought real boxing intensity into WWE. Ludvig Borga proved one thing: even when leaving the boxing ring behind, the spirit of a real fighter can burn just as fiercely inside the wrestling world. He may not have become one of WWE's all-time greats, but his strength, presence, and unmistakable aura made him unforgettable. Orlando Jordan, from Florida's boxing rings to the bright lights of SmackDown. Before the name Orlando Jordan appeared on SmackDown with swagger and confidence, he was a promising amateur boxer in Florida. Growing up in a sports-driven environment, Jordan showed exceptional speed, reflexes, and strength from an early age. He began boxing young, competed in numerous amateur tournaments, and was known for his solid technique, quick movement, and calm in the ring. Although he had the ability to pursue a full boxing career, Jordan discovered he was drawn more to performance, where athletic ability, personality, and showmanship blended together. In 2000, Orlando Jordan entered the world of professional wrestling. Thanks to his boxing background, he quickly adapted to WWE's pace and physical demands. Fans noticed his distinctive in-ring style, clean, sharp strikes and footwork reminiscent of a real boxer. He didn't have the massive frame of some WWE powerhouses, but he made up for it with agility and control, shaped by years of boxing training. His biggest moment came when he shocked everyone by defeating John Cena to win the United States Championship on SmackDown, a result that stunned the audience. Suddenly, Jordan stepped into the spotlight as an unexpected threat. He held the title for 173 days, a reign that sparked debate among fans. While Jordan performed well, many believed he still wasn't on the same level as the top stars of that era. Even so, Orlando Jordan left a unique imprint. His style was different, unpredictable, and expressive. After leaving WWE, he continued wrestling in other promotions, bringing his strong personality and experience wherever he went. Orlando Jordan may not be remembered as one of WWE's greatest legends, but his journey proves something important. Coming from boxing doesn't just give you physical power, it gives you a fighter's mindset. And in a world as tough as WWE, that fighting spirit is what keeps you standing. And that wraps up our look at 15 wrestlers who were real-life boxers before stepping into the ring. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for Wrestling Sphere.